We were told that if we went to school and we got good grades and we got a good job and if we checked certain boxes and we got our pension, that we would be happy and we would feel successful. I want to be clear, that is a lie. We were lied to. We're sold this illusion of what success is and how we would feel. And so there are so many successful people who are walking around absolutely miserable and sick and depleted and just plain tired because they followed the rule book, but it didn't get the result of what they were promised. And if that's you, this video is for you. Here's the thing about checking all the boxes and getting to a certain level of success is once you get there, you be like, man, this can't be it. There is no other boxes to check. And if you're old enough, you remember the Scantrons, you have filled in every circle on the Scantron, put the pencil down, you are done. And you're wondering, what's next? Because if you've done everything and you're tired and you're exhausted and you're searching for a feeling, you start to feel guilty about not being happy. So here's something I want you to consider. Is it time to shift from success to being significant? Success is vertical. Success is checking the boxes and getting the awards and getting the degrees and having your name on certain things and getting your name engraved in plaques and all these other kind of things that high achievers absolutely love. Significance is coming into the awareness of what big problem are you supposed to solve for humanity? Why are you here in this physical form, and what big problem are you meant to solve for your generation? Dr. Miles Monroe said, every person was born to solve a problem for their generation. The problem is we get a job and we get stuck in our jobs, but your job is not the work that you came here to do. Your job is not the work that you were called to do. And I am not knocking a job. I love the deliciousness of a check, but the goal at this moment of when you're feeling there has to be more, there has to be something else to this life. Now I want you to start to look within and start to take accountability for how you feel and then what's next. Not what's next, but how can I now use everything that I've learned and everything that I am to now impact people on a greater scale. And that is what your purpose is. Now here's the thing about purpose, what people talk about. Purpose is not something that is external to you. Purpose is something that's within you. You came here with it. It is the size of a mustard seed. It is a big problem that you came to solve. And you have everything that you need to shift into your purpose, but it's going to take some self-reflection. So by the end of this video, I want to be able to share some insight with you on why success doesn't feel successful, and it's time to shift from success and into significance. Number one, your ego craves achievement, your spirit and your soul craves expansion. And expansion is coming into the full awareness of who you are, why you're here, and what you're meant to accomplish in this lifetime. So I want you to start to think about, what are the things that you're great at? What are the things that your friends call you for advice for? Because when it comes to your purpose, it's tattooed right on your forehead and everybody can see it but you. It is your natural gift. It is your inherent gift. And once I left the Coast Guard and I was doing everything but the right thing, the right thing. I was selling coffee with the network marketing company. I was selling personality tests. I was trying to sell URLs, and I'm doing all of these things. When I was in my career, I've gotten over 200 people promoted. I didn't know that coaching was a thing. Now, what I was doing was mentoring. I went to a Blacks in Government conference and I heard this lady talk about coaching. And I'm like, wait a minute, people get paid for this? Because I'm already doing it. At that point, I was mentoring like 40 people. Fast forward, when I left the Coast Guard, I already have demonstrated results of the things that I've done. So to leave and now think that I'm starting over and I have to climb this insurmountable mountain and I'm an entrepreneur and I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm selling coffee. It took me losing everything and running out of money. I mean, to the complete bare bones. I have no more money for me to think about, well, what can I do for free? What do I have left that I can still make money with that I need nothing to start with? I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a coach. And I called my friends all excited. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to be a coach and I'm going to do leadership development training. And my friends were not shocked. They was like, no, SHIT, Christy, that's who you are. And I was like, oh my God, nobody was shocked. I had been doing that my entire career and also my entire life. But it took me running out of money and getting down to the absolute bare bones of nothing before I stepped into what I'm naturally good at. And here's the thing, in The Science of Getting Rich, he says the fastest way to get rich is to do something in which you're naturally suited for. So are you running from your big dream, or do you have a dream, or are you even aware of what you're naturally good at? So I want you to consider 3 questions. What do people call you and ask you for advice for? What do you do for free that you love? And then the last question is, if all of your lifestyle expenses were paid and you're making $1 million a year just for existing, what would you do with your time? Besides travel and spend money, all those other kind of things, how would you spend your time and what would you do to give back to humanity? That is your purpose, not you serving to a detriment, not you giving because you may have had some childhood trauma and now you're giving and sowing those seeds into things to make them better, and you're doing it at a deficit and you're not really passionate about it. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is the big problem that you came here to solve, and it's something that you do naturally. It's something that you do for free. Now it's time to think about, how can I now impact more people? And you're thinking about, how do I now get paid for the value that I'm now offering the world and the value that I'm giving to the world? And that's when you shift from a check and into provision. And I want to be clear, you cannot outrun God's provision. The second thing I want you to consider is redefining what success means to you today. Because here's the thing, when we're in our 20s and we're in college, we think about, I'm going to be successful when I do these things. And then you've done all of these things and you don't really feel successful. And if you're 35 and you're 40 and you haven't redefined what success means to you, then you're operating on old data. And I thought about this at 35 to 37, right before I burned out. I had not redetermined what success meant to me, because it was getting to the executive level and it was getting to the corner office and it was having all the things and being able to travel and living on a golf course and having all these cars and going to Paris and Miami and doing everything that I dreamed of. And once I had that, it's like, what's next? Is this it? And I didn't take into account now at 35 and being single and rubbing my own leg at night, like what Tweet talked about in There Goes My Shirt Up Over My Head. And now at 35, I need to determine whether or not I want to have kids. Women actually have to slow down and think about that and make room for that. At 35, it's like, well, I've done all these things. I've checked all these boxes. What's actually going to make me happy? What's going to bring me joy? I'm fighting all the time. Maybe I should become better acquainted with who I am and now start to shift into who I want my future self to be and living from that awareness instead of fighting people for things that don't even matter. It's the same amount of energy and it's the same amount of time. So if we're spending our time fighting for every cause, fighting everything, and fighting all the petty people at work, and I want to be clear, it's a lot of them, and fighting the naysayers because we're addicted to proving people wrong, we're not necessarily giving awareness to who do we want to be and how we want to show up in life. Because your future self should drive the decisions that you make today. And if you're not clear on what success means to you today and how you want to feel, then it's easy to get caught up in all the things that are going on in the world, all the negative, petty conversations that are going on social media. But once you start to get clear on who you are and where you're going, you don't have time for this stuff because that's low vibration energy and it's exhausting to be fighting and arguing all the time. It takes just as much energy to pour into your future and who you want to be and how you show up. You choose where you're going to spend your time and energy. We all get 24 hours in a day, and who you are is a result of how you're spending your 24 hours. So this is a question that I want you to consider this week. Not what do you need to do to be more successful, but who do you want to be in 2030? What does success mean to you today? And then who do you want to be in 2030? And so once you start to get clear on, okay, this is what success means to me today, whether you're 35, 40, 50, 60, whatever, this is what success means to me today. This is how I want to arrive in 2030. Not how much money you want and the car and the houses and all these external things. It's like peace of mind and joy and having harmony with your family and having harmony with other people. This is what it means to me today. This is how I want to arrive. And everything that you do should align with those two things. Write the vision, make it plain, believe that all things are possible for you. But that's the missing piece in success, because we think success is doing, but success is actually being. And if you're thinking about a title or position and you're starting to shrink back and say, well, what is Christy talking about? We're going to be discussing that in the next video, which is who are you when no one is watching? Dissolving the ego. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like it, please, so I can get some feedback on what you are enjoying. Subscribe to this channel to make sure you get the next video and turn the notification bell on. But if you're watching it later, it's going to be right here. Let me know in the comments below what was your greatest takeaway, and if you're going to actually take inventory of how great you already are and look for your purpose within you. I can't wait to get your feedback and your insight.